Hello, I'm Finola Burt from Research as a Service, and welcome to our 2024 Outlook series. In this session, we're focusing on workforce compliance monitoring and management company, Kinetico, ASX ticket KYP. And joining me is CEO Michael Ivanchenko. Welcome, Michael, and thanks for joining me for our Outlook series.
G'day, Finola. Good to see you.
So Kinetico has been very consistent in its strategic shift to SaaS revenue, and in the first quarter saw 28% of its revenue from SaaS, up from 11% the year before. Can you talk about how 2024 is shaping up for SaaS conversion and how customers are reacting to the SaaS proposition?
We've been really happy with our progress, Finola, around the strategy of moving into ongoing workforce compliance and continuing to put the context around the credential validation business that has historically we've grown from. So as you mentioned, we started in 28% in Q1. We're up to 31% for the full half year, and in fact 33% for Q2. So the underlying strategy and value for customers around the reason that they need to manage and monitor their compliance is working.
So we saw an expansion into government in late 2023 with 3 multi-year contracts with minimum guarantees. Should we expect to see more contracts of this nature in 2024? And could you give us a sense of the opportunity in the government sector?
Well, certainly they're a target. I'm not going to promise the achievement per se, but it is our target. That's what we're going after. And what we're getting is a positive response to the transparency and the immediacy of the information that organisations are getting, and with the key aspect being the simplicity. And if they have that, they then have the predictability of costs, they have the predictability around timeliness and availability of that information. We're finding that in return for that, they are happy to sign up to the type of contracts we're pitching.
And Michael, you had your first positive NPAT in FY23. What can we expect for the half year and for the remainder of 2024?
So you would have seen a recent flash update. We've actually managed to double the NPAT for the half year that we actually achieved for the full year last year. It is our commitment as an executive team to continue to pursue positive profitability as we grow, to actually manage that balance between investment, but also making sure that we are a long-term scalable business. So very happy with the half-year results. So when you see the numbers of 33% for Q2 of SaaS being the revenue, an NPAT of 400,000 for the half year, we intend to continue to pursue that in H2 and ongoing, and balanced against what is undeniably challenging macroeconomic conditions with a lot of external inputs. And traditionally, the business has been seen or measured by cyclical numbers, whether it's the unemployment rate, whether it's seasonal numbers of when we had peaks and troughs. To see Q2 being our highest ever SaaS percentage and an NPAT positive number really concretes the fact that we've moved away from that dependency of the hiring cycle right into full life cycle. So I think the combination of those two numbers being the increase in SaaS, 2.4 million for quarter two, is actually what we achieved for the full year only about 18 months ago. So, and the ongoing profitability, as I say, is just now an ongoing commitment.
You continue to hear of large enterprises and government slowing expenditure decisions, and you've acknowledged the tougher global macro environment. Is Kinetico seeing any slowdown in potential enterprise sales decisions?
What we're seeing is a increase in, you would say, the hoops that organisations are jumping through before they enter into longer-term committed contracts. So, but it's balanced against the fact that we are one of the industries in compliance that is just an increasing necessity for businesses. So that tension, if you like, internal for those organisations of, is this one of the investments we want to make at the moment versus many parts of the business saying they have to. So we would see an increase in the diligence that organisations are making before they make the decisions, which is potentially delaying them a little bit, but not seeing a slowdown. And in fact, our pipeline's the strongest it's ever been.
Kinatico is sitting on a sizable cash position, and I think at last call it was around $10 million. Are any opportunities presenting themselves in this environment, and has recent price compression tempered expectations amongst your peers?
It's an ongoing investigation. We continue to look at opportunities for where we could accelerate our market reach or inorganic revenue growth, but we've got a strict rule that it has to be accretive revenue. It has to not be a distraction for the management team away from our clear focus at present, and have to fit in with our ideals of aggregating global regtech, but also within the workforce compliance space. So the opportunities are there. We haven't found anything yet that meets all of those criteria to the extent we want, but we continue to look. But it is also fair to say that the heat has come out of what was, perhaps 12 months ago, some rather optimistic or unrealistic price expectations. But having said that, I think we're entering into a phase where there's a perception of real value out there. And, we've started to see that tick up at the same time.
Michael, thank you for joining me today to discuss the 2024 outlook for Kinatico. I'm looking forward to catching up with you through the course of the year to check on your progress.
Thanks, Finola. Always good to chat.